Editing modern decks involves looking at hundreds of win more cards, but ultimately going back to the OG deck list. Those decks win for a reason. A lot of the time, yeah. Arano! 12 months means I have a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around, and welcome back. Alright, Esper Party Bus. We still, update after update. There is no foil party bus, and it is basically a crime against this deck that it does not exist. So this, for those that are unindoctrined with the party bus, the Lumbering Battlement is the bus on which we party. So we combine Lumbering Battlement with a smattering of different creatures that have enter the battlefield effects to have both a large beater and a card that generates a lot of value. This deck, in addition to being a mid-range value deck with all these enter the battlefield creatures, also contains an infinite combo. When you have a Lumbering Battlement and then 2 other battlements, or 2 other hostage takers, or a hostage taker and a second battlement, you can loop enter the battlefield effects as many times as you want, which lets us gain a bunch of life, draw a bunch of cards, kill our opponent outright, draw cards here, make our opponent discard. So we can do a variety of things to make the bus happen. I will shift off of my Eternal Army avatar for Rakdos for this one, because Rakdos is the only person we can trust to pilot the party bus. He is the king of parties, if you would. Party bus! Toot toot. Rakdos, the lord of parties. Rakdos avatar growl sleeves, might be party bus time. Ain't no party like Rakdos party. We're a little land heavy here, but I think it's probably fine. I got a Thought Erasure on 2. Double basic forests and pass, eh? Did that look like mono green, Stompy? I was looking here over at the side of my thing when they conceded. I didn't quite see all of the cards they had. They definitely had Nullhide, Ferox, and Vivian, right? So I think Nullhide, Ferox means I want to get rid of Bell-Haunt. Cast down's probably not a bad idea. They're a big dumb things deck. Do I want Despark? Despark's probably decent. Do I want Thief of Sanity? It was Vivian, 2 Nullhide, Kroll Harpooner, Bronzedon, Goreclaw. Okay. They had Kroll and Vivian, so Thief's probably not good. I'm just going to bring in some removal. And Ming, thanks for converting your sub and sticking around. I think it's pretty reasonable. Has all of our colors. Has Dusk Legion on 2, Elite Guard, Hostage Taker. Put up Mulligan to 5. Has Land War Elves on 1. Okay. One of the best ways to make up their card disadvantage of mulliganing is to run us down for sure. Hey, Purvis. Morning. Ha. So we have, like, some removal in our deck, but overall, Shaper Sanctuary isn't amazing against us. And, like, our Lumbering Battlement is probably going to be bigger than a lot of their stuff on average, right? Yeah, I agree. We probably looked like something that we're not to them. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take this hit. I could, like, block and Siren's Ruse, but with the Hostage Taker here, I get to Hostage Taker this, and then next turn I can play this and Siren's Ruse this. So, like, they get to draw a card here, but I'm going to get to cast their 5/4, which is sweet. If they have, like, a fight spell here, I get into a little bit of trouble, but I think they're pretty unlikely to be able to kill my Hostage Taker in a mono-green deck. Hey, Dragon, thanks for the 2 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm going to go ahead and do this now, so that way if they're, like, have Galta or something like that, they don't get a good chance to cast it. They don't get this, making their stuff cheaper for a turn. Yeah, you and me both, Slime. And so I've been using a red screen filter that's a software filter. I'm interested to see how the glass is. Because the red screen filter does edit the colors, adjust the colors of what's on my screen, which is a little annoying. Goreclaw makes my battlement cheaper too, which is sweet. It feels like they probably have a Galta in their hand based on not attacking here. I'm going to pass because I could Siren's Ruse steal the Galta next turn, right? Yeah, Pel Collector's seen some stuff here. That next Lumbering Battlement means I'm gonna be infinite here, right? That is something we can hostage take. You're not wrong. So, next turn I can draw my deck and gain a bunch of life. Oh, I was already infinite with the hostage taker. You're right. Oh no, losing my Goreclaw means that I don't have that's awkward. That was a mistake. I forgot the other Goreclaw is what was making my stuff cheaper. Although I guess I had to block, huh? Or I was gonna die. Did I have to block? At any rate, we should be set up pretty well to get them next turn. All aboard. That's cute. Yeah, the Ferox Immortal Sun synergy here is rough. Line is pay for Ferox, blink your own taker, been good there. Nah, I don't think so. I think with the Siren's Ruse in my hand, my opponent's pretty unlikely to beat me even with cheeky plays. Everybody off the bus. Everybody back on the bus. So, one of the things... Oh, I stacked this wrong. No, wait, did I? No, I stacked that right. I'm just giving them a trigger unintentionally. One of the things that you, I've completely lost my train of thought. Alright, let's attack them for 8 before we combo here. Alright, so we do this. It does this. And these come into play. I gain 3, I do the thing. I target my own thing. He gets hostage takered. Yeah, I could have stacked it to get an extra draw. Now this happened. So this is an infinite loop that I have now entered. And every time I execute this loop, I draw a card and I gain 3 life. In Paper Magic, you would demonstrate this loop and say, I'm going to do this, 20 times or 30 times. And then you just, draw your cards and gain your life. On Magic Arena, I have to sit here and click through it. Ooh, that's a good point. The chess clock, should auto-order my abilities here. I don't know. We're in game 2 and I'm up a game and I have 27 minutes, so the chess clock probably doesn't matter. I mean, so part of the reason I'm stacking my triggers like this is they get to see that I'm gaining life and they're gonna know that I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life here, right? Yeah, best of 3 is a chess clock. Yeah, the chess clock on Arena has so much time on it that it's basically irrelevant except in the exact instance that someone wanted to loop Nexus without a win condition. So basically, the only thing the chess clock changes on Arena are those random threads where you see, my opponent's been looping Nexus of Fate for 4 hours and I have nothing better to do, so I've been sitting here. The chess clock prevents that from happening. But that's about it, really. Rocks or Boxers, thanks for the 5-month resub, I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, Kylo Ren, the loop that I'm executing there, it is optional to take something. It's optional for me to take something with the battle bus, so I can stop looping at any point. So at any point, I can just be like, no, I'm done. Alright, so do I Elite Guardmage here, or do I Hostage Taker and yoink their Land War Elves? I think I'm gonna yoink their Land War Elves so they can't Ugin me next turn. Yeah, you can also Hostage Taker one of their things instead. Awesome, Incendium. I appreciate the offer. I'm hoping the mem test just comes back and tells me that some of the RAM is bad. I think some of the sticks of RAM in her computer are like pushing 5 years old, which probably means some of them are bad at this point. All right, we're technically set up to loop at this point if we can get all this stuff together. You can buy the stained glass styles for money too, I thought, right? I thought you could spend money to get the styles. Maybe I'm wrong though. This was a good draw, Reichs. Lets me kill Ugin.
Sorry I'm late.
Pick this up, attack your Ugin for 5. Ooh, Thought Erasure's not bad.
This experience still proved useful.
Do I Thought Erasure them, or do I get Fblthp down and try and hit a land drop? I think I want to try and hit a land drop, honestly. Because, like, getting my hand's kind of mana hungry. So, like, hitting lands every turn seems ideal here. Getting more enter the battlefield effects into play, too, is good for my Lumbering Battlement. So, like, next turn I can go, like, Battlement plus Thought Erasure now. This is kind of annoying, though.
You will not fail.
I'll make use of that later.
Oh, you know what? Am I supposed to give them the Ugin here so I can Thought Erasure it? Maybe. Crazy Ducks, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Am I okay trading here? I think I am.
Now what? Please do not do that.
So if I would have used this to cast this, I could have done this and this turn. So I currently have 6, 7 mana. This is 8. So I think I'm going to go ahead and Lumbering Battlement, tuck all of these. And then if I draw a land next turn, I can Bell-Haunt and Battlement in the same turn and get the loop going. No, Magic Online does not have a free-to-play option. Gotta open your wallet. Magic Online is basically identical to Paper Magic.
I am Karn.
Okay.
Stand down.
AC Manipulator, sure. That's sweet, some sweet technology.
Be wary of the ground you walk.
Magic Online's always had a free trial mode with limited game modes, but you can't, like, use those to farm currency to then play the game without paying money. So, that's always been there.
You may regret
Nissa. Alright, so that's a land. So, I'm gonna... Now I get to draw as many cards as I want from my deck, gain an arbitrarily large amount of life, and make my opponent discard their entire hand. So unless this card is some kind of interaction that I'm not thinking of... We've had a lot of combos with this deck for the short amount of games we've played so far today. I'm not putting the Zealot on the bus because I don't need to draw more cards. And if I put the Zealot on the bus, it reduces the amount of life that I have. Alright, we've got 27 minutes. This is our first time comboing in game 1. At some point, I'm going to need to stop using the Elite Guardmage because I don't want a deck. Can we see how many triggers are stacked up? There's a little my overlay is covering it. I'm like can't take time off. So there's a little number that shows right above the stack how many triggers are currently on the stack. So like right now there's 13 triggers on the stack. There are 15 triggers on the stack. However many triggers are on the stack, half of that is how many cards I'm going to draw, and times 3 is how much life I'm going to gain. And remember, I can stop this loop at any time because taking things is optional with the bus. So, I'm probably going to do this for like, if my opponent doesn't value their time, I'm probably going to do this for like 5 or 6 minutes, draw 20 cards, get to a health total that they can never win from. And like, again, the key here is getting set up in a state where I'm going to be able to draw my deck, and then next turn, I'll be able to restart the loop with the vampire in my hand to actually kill them with the vampire in a new loop. There are 20 triggers on the stack currently, so we're currently drawing 10 cards and gaining 60 life. Hey, Brando, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. And like, this deck is such a great example of like, the round timer being mostly irrelevant. Because like, this is the type of deck you'd expect to like, suffer from having this round timer, and just like, it's really not a big deal. I've used chili for my chinchilla supplies and food, and I've been very happy with them. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. So I personally don't have any pets, but my parents have like half a dozen cats and a couple of dogs, and my mother's been using them for a while, she said, and likes them. And my mother is a very, let's say, thrifty individual, so I'm sure their pricing is great. When the kids get a little bit older, we'll probably get a dog. I want the kids to at least I want the kids to be old enough to help take care of it. Correct. Yeah, I don't want a dog to be a third child. That's exactly correct. Alright, my opponent... I wonder if my opponent realizes they're gonna have to discard their hand yet. Alright, there's 34 triggers on the stack, so I'm drawing 17 cards. I think I want to draw approximately half my deck, just so I'm likely to hit a vampire. I'm gonna draw 20 before I break the loop. And drawing 20 means I gain 40 times 3 and go to triple digits. There's 42 cards in my deck, so I'm gonna draw half of them. I'm gonna pick up 21. Is there any way to unanimate the lands? There is not. Although I am gonna get to Hostage Taker one of them, so that's nice. At the end of... We can break the loop by Hostage Takering a forest. Oh, I could take the artifact. Yeah, taking the Icy Manipulator is probably better. Do I want to end here? I think I want to end here. Yeah, I'm gaining 6 each loop. I'm going to gain 3 times the number of triggers in the stack, which is currently 42. And then I'll draw half that many cards, which is 21. So I'm gonna go ahead and break the loop down and let the stack resolve. So I spent like 5 minutes of my 30-minute clock drawing half my deck here. You get 9 free months of Nintendo Switch Online from Twitch. Just became available this week. Sweet. I'll have to toggle that on. Oh, there's one Dusk Legion Zealot. That's true. There's one Zealot trigger at the start. And of course, we didn't draw a vampire in the top half of our deck. That's awkward. Alright, so let's discard lands, mostly. Thought Erasure I don't need. Memorial I don't need. Actually, the Memorial might be worth keeping. Alright, did that mostly successfully.
darkness can never be corrupted.
So they have a lot of mana to do stuff here. We get a Reliquary Tower rate. I don't know, having to discard to hand size is kind of like a gift. Karn for Torpor Orb, right? Alright, you have a Meteor Golem. Hey, Fuzzy Thantos, thanks for 11 months, and 3DH Gamers, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back.
Time has come.
Yep, there's Nugan. Random login name. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Dealer's choice. Ever since I get back into MTG, I've been consuming your YouTube and using your website for inspiration to find decks I might want to play. Thanks for the great content. Thanks for the support. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, sweet. There's the vampire that eventually kills them. And I'm at 147, so like, good luck, Godspeed. Yeah, so they get to downtick this, get the other Karn, get Helm of the Host. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So I think I just pass. Did I miss a big one? Oh, I totally did. Want to try and jump the line for the day? I submitted Mono Green Super Friends last night. Yeah, we'll do, Keel. 10 out of 10. You're super right. Sorry, I was mid-combo. I think I'm just passing. No, I don't want to draw Step the Siren's Ruse. I want to be able to Mortify. I want to be able to Mortify this Meteor Golem. And then I have Hostage Taker and Lumbering Battlement here, so I can combo them with the Vampire Sovereign next turn. And thank you for the absurd donation, Keel. Sorry I was mid shenanigans. I think the mono green friends deck is probably pretty close to like what we're playing against right now, actually.
Nothing is ever truly lost.
No attack with their flying up. It just doesn't matter. Their planeswalkers just don't matter. I would not be surprised if the combo bug Deckmaster.
Awaken. I fight with honor. I will not lose another friend.
Another Meteor Golem, sure. Alright, what are we destroying? So I Want to keep this alive, because this is how they die next turn. And again, in Magic, when a card leaves play and re-enters, it's considered a new instance of that card. So it's no longer being targeted by Meteor Golems, down tick.
Ether itself serves me.
153. Your move, Yugi boy. You have Indestructible Forests. Enjoy.
For those who are worthy.
To be fair, we did have a Land War Elf at one point. It just died to a Blast Zone mid-combo. Maybe it must have gotten lost in the Blast Zone. You've got huge tracks of indestructible land, opponent. And the Naborial Grazer. My turn. Alright, so we Lumbering Battlement. Which grabs these two. And then we Hostage Taker the Lumbering Battlement. And now this starts the loop again. But this time, we're looping with the Vampire Sovereign, so every loop deals 3 damage to my opponent, or makes them lose 3 life, technically speaking. This is how you actually kill them when they don't concede to you gaining an arbitrary large amount of life. If this was paper, we would have simply told my opponent I'm going to gain, a gram's number worth of life. And then they couldn't win anymore because I have a gram's number worth of life outside of decking me. No, I could have floated mana, Tom. You can float mana. So we've re-entered the Matrix here. Only this time, every loop in the Matrix drains them for 3. They didn't have a thing. Their Icy Manipulator was under my Hostage Taker, Tom. Despark is great. They have a Boreal Grazer. Like, my gut was like, oh, I want Thief of Sanity, but that's actually not true, right? Because they have a Boreal Grazer. Time Raveler seems fine. Maybe Cast Down is okay to, like, stop myself from dying to random aggressive stuff. Well, no, in this instance, Frumbles, we'd be gaining life with Bell-Haunt. So obviously, you can't gain arbitrarily large amounts of life with Elite Guardmage, but with Bell-Haunt you can. With this, you're limited to how many cards are in your deck. You're correct. Yeah, I don't know, a lot of our cards just seem, like, reasonable here. I definitely want the Desparks. Maybe it's just the Mortifies. They don't really have that many actually impactful creatures, right? Is Negate good? A lot of their payoffs are non-creatures, right? Negate might actually be okay here. Yeah, I'm gonna trim the Mortifies and bring in the Negates, actually. Let's do that. See how that feels. Thanks for helping me find new decks to try and jam every week for FNM and Standard Showdown. Your lists you play are the talk of the week every week. Awesome, Slinker. Well, thank you for the 3rd of a year, and welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Yeah, this is fine. So, I spent a significant amount of time comboing that game in Game 1, and I still have 20 minutes on my clock. So, plenty of time to make this deck work, I think, even with the timer. Can our mana base support Dovin's Veto? I don't know. I have enough swamps that I'd rather not risk it. I have a couple Memorial to Follies too. So if you wanted to be a little bit greedy, you could like certainly. You could certainly. I'm gonna keep the land there. If you wanted to be a little bit greedy, you could certainly risk it, but I prefer to be conservative. I always err on the side of being able to cast my spells. We played Amulet Titan today. So, I think I'm just hostage takering this Jade Light, right? Seems like the line's like all they have going on. And again, with this battlement in my hand, I'm 2/3 of the way to looping, right? That was the best possible card they could draw, because it was their only kind of removal there. So that's unfortunate. At least we made this smaller. I think I'm actually just gonna play Elite Guardmage here. Yeah, there's a rough, unedited copy of the Black Red Aristocrats primer on the subs Discord. There'll be a fully formatted and edited copy published on Cool Stuffing tomorrow morning.
Of the multiverse obeys me.
Oh, Proliferate lets them keep the Ugin. I forgot about Proliferate. That's fine. I still have Despark next turn. I don't know. Playing the Elite Guardmage is mana efficient. I definitely forgot about this, but... And they drew a Nissa. Yikes. Pretty good running draw steps here for the opponent. I think we're probably dead at this point. I guess I could potentially hit the combo. I don't know that we're gonna be able to survive this aggression though. Yeah, we're kind of dead. Just can't beat Ugin off the top when they have nothing. Draw's a little bit too slow for that. Come eat pizza. Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm happy with the right side boarded. Again, like, they're only payoffs that matter. Negate hits, so that seems fine. I think it's pretty correct to run the Hostage Taker out there against a deck that has so little removal like my opponent's. Like, on, you know, somewhere between, like, 2 and 4 Ugins is their only way to take it out of play. Karn's Bastion was, like, really good for my opponent there, huh? Definitely a big part of why they were able to be successful. I waited to resub for my birthday, which meant I had to watch ads for 4 days. It was awful. Well, you should only get an ad when you first join my channel, at least. There shouldn't be ads midstream for you. At any rate, thanks for the 2/3 of a year pizza. I think I actually just take Bond of Flourishing here, because like Bond of Flourishing potentially turns into an actual threat, whereas Paradise Druid is just like a 2/1 that makes mana. No, there's a Tempo Storm Scroller in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen now. Still affiliated with them. Was able to get that worked out. Unless you're a part of the MPL, contracts are almost always up for negotiation. Oops, did I say that out loud again? So Bell-Haunt not particularly great here since they have so many forests in their hand. So they're hoping to draw big bomb payoffs. We're hoping they don't draw big bomb payoffs.
The land fights for us.
The land fights for us. They get to get any lands out of their deck here? That's pretty good. Wait. Why wouldn't they get utility lands here? Seems weird. All right, sure. Yeah, I guess that stops me from drawing a card when I Lumbering Battlement later. And like they have plenty of mana, so I guess that makes sense.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Huh? Yeah, I guess that really puts a kink in my plans, huh? Because now this can't attack into here this turn profitably. This'll get to start to pressure it though. Alright, we've got our hostage takers, so it's just gonna be a matter of do they hit a payoff before we get set up?
Harness the elements.
I've not played Pirates this season. So if you go to my standards deck page and you scroll down to the bottom, you can expand a section that's old deck list that I've not played again yet. That would be a fine resubmission if you wanted me to update it though. That is not something that I've put thought into just yet this season. Alright, if they don't interact with our board, we get to draw as many cards as we want and gain as much life as we want and make them discard their hand next turn.
Stop.
In the name of love. Do 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 do. Here we go. Here we go again. Here we go again. Should have known, should have known, should have known again. Do 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 do. I have 18 minutes. Let's go. All aboard. Hey, BJ Roth, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. I'm gonna miss alerts for the next couple of minutes while I'm comboing here because I need to combo efficiently and quickly. So again, we get to gain as much life as we want. We get to draw as many cards as we want. We get to make them discard their hand. So we're gonna see the trigger stacking up here. Do this for at least 10 minutes. I do need to make sure I don't deck myself while doing this. So again, if you're playing this deck in Paper Magic, at this point, you just announce to your opponent, you say, this is my loop, this is how I stop and break it up. I can choose which cards I do and don't take each time. So you could just say, I'm going to a Google of life, and I'm going to draw 30 cards out of my deck. On Magic Arena, I'm not able to do that. You can't demonstrate a loop, so you have to manually go through it like this. Dusk, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. There's 45 cards in my deck, so I'm probably going to draw 20 or 30 cards here. And again, the number of triggers that I have on my screen, I'm drawing half that many cards because half of these triggers are Bell-Haunt triggers. So I'm going to gain 3 life times the number of triggers on the screen, plus I'm going to draw half that many cards. Yeah, it's the same in MTGO. MTGO does also not support loops. Thanks, Wolfie. While I'm sitting here comboing, I guess I can chill a little bit. We've added a new sponsor, Chewy Pet Supplies, to the lineup. Not only do they offer fantastic customer service, but they also, one of their big things that they do is they allow you to set up whatever pet supplies you're going to need on a reoccurring ordering schedule with their auto ship support. So if you're someone who gets certain products like food or chew toys every X amount of weeks or months, you can set that up very easily. And if you use my link, bit.ly/HugelChewy, you can save 30% on your first auto ship order with them. I mean, on MTGO, your opponent knows what's going on. If they're making you click through it, they're going to make you click through it. Like, my opponent could know they're not going to beat me gaining all this life and concede at any point, but they want to make me click through it. I do. I like this. Look at this. I get to add in chills. Yeah, Chewy does also do work to help foster animals in shelters, which is great. You think it's reasonably possible for WotC to program loop support? Probably not. Programming support for something like this is a really complex programming problem when you take into the fact that you need to allow the opponent to disrupt the loop at any given point. So, again, the people that don't understand, I'm saying you can gain an arbitrarily large amount of life. Obviously, if you're using the Elite Guardmage, the amount of life you can gain is linked to the amount of cards in your deck. However, I'm also gaining life with Bell-Haunt. So basically, I could say I'm drawing a certain number of cards with Elite Guardmage, and then at that point, I'm going to stop taking Elite Guardmage in the loop and just continue the loop with only Bell-Haunt. That's true. The amount of life you gain also has to be your current life total plus a number divisible by 3, technically. The current number of triggers on the stack is obscured by my face portrait here, so there are currently 31 triggers on the stack. I'm going to keep going until there's like probably 50 or 60 triggers on the stack, because I'm only drawing half as many cards as there are triggers. And I want to draw like 30-ish cards here, I think. I still have 16 minutes on my clock, which is plenty to execute this. Correct. In paper, like I could do that on Arena too. It's just less efficient. So in paper, I could be stacking this so I'm drawing cards instead of putting all the triggers on the stack, so I know what's in my hand. But on here, it's just quicker to let it auto order the triggers and just decide I'm drawing a certain number of cards. The wheels on the bus are spinning round and round. Now, one of the issues is that once we draw most of our deck here, the issue is going to come in where we have to figure out what cards we're keeping, what we're discarding at the end of turn in a reasonable amount of time. Last game, the timer popped up on us. This deck's actually really reasonable against mono red, because you play 4 Elite Guardmage and you play Bell-Haunt in the main deck, and you have Mortify to kill Experimental Frenzy. We can see Arena leaking memory as you click, right? Yeah, but is a Google plus 29 divisible by 3? That's the real question, because I'm starting at 29. And 29's not divisible by 3, so the ultimate life total that I'm going to end up at is not divisible by 3. The number of triggers that are currently on the stack is currently obscured by my player portrait. I'd show you, but I risk running out of time if I mess with OBS right now. So right above the stack, you can see the number of triggers on it. I think I'm going to draw 30 cards here. Leave 15 in my deck. Yeah, this is probably fine. I'm at 25 cards. Alright, so now we break the loop by choosing not to get the hostage taker here. So these are going to go under here, and now these triggers will start resolving. My opponent's going to have to discard their hand. I have 14 minutes on my clock, which is plenty of time. I think my opponent might have gone to get a cup of coffee or used the restroom. Or maybe they just turned off their computer because they got comboed twice in 3 games. When you get, and speaking as someone who's played a lot of Modern, when you get killed by the combo deck that's really weird twice in 3 games, it just like makes you question your decision to register a bunch of basic forests. The opponent's placing a Chewy order. Yeah, exactly. They heard me shill for Chewy, and they're like, ah, I gotta go place an order while Jeff combos. So we're gonna gain 150 life here. We're gonna draw 25 cards. And then hopefully in these 25 cards will be one of our 2 vampires, and we'll kill them next turn. There's the, see, I've hidden myself here while this resolves. Season 32. That's how many triggers are currently on the stack. Dursa, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can kill them this turn. I don't have enough mana to kill them this turn. Still haven't found a vampire. Haven't found a vampire or a Siren's thing yet. We have a couple more draws though still. I like how my opponent is like individually resolving these instead of hitting resolve all. Hey, there's a vampire. Sweet. I have a vampire. I have a negate. We would like to draw a Siren's Ruse ideally, but I think the negate should lock this up for us. This is a good example of why there should not be an in-game chat, Narita. Please, please no. Please no. We'll play a land, we'll like fumble around with discarding to hand size, and then we'll kill them next turn with the vampire and then restarting the loop. Mobile client when exactly. And the worst part is all these things all move while I mouse over them, so it's kind of hard to like organize what's in my hand. Arena needs voice chat, yep. Well, yesterday we struggled to get a deck of the day until very late in the day. Today we hit a deck of the day very early, so that was sweet. Do you have a promo code that works with pre-orders for Modern Horizons? I don't think so. I think my Cool Stuff Inc. code is only for singles. You can double check that. I'm pretty sure it's only singles though. We should play a Reliquary Tower to save time. Yeah, exactly. Jeff 5 on Cool Stuff Inc. Did I already play a land for the turn? I must have already played a land for the turn. I need to discard 19 cards. Alright, challenge accepted. Yeah, I didn't hit a Ruse, though, which kind of sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to hold on to 1 land. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I wish I could see, like, what I've decided to keep. So I have a Vampire, I have some Lumbering Battlements, I have a Despark. I think I'm discarding the Teferi. I think that's 19. Alright, let's find out what we kept. Alright, I kept, like, relatively what I wanted to keep. Because I didn't draw a Siren's Ruse in the top 40 cards of my deck, I actually can't combo them next turn unless we draw it. Because I'm short mana. That being said, like, I have Negates and I'm at 179, and I have this Despark for the Nissa, so we're probably fine. I don't have enough mana. I only have seven mana right now, and I have to spend 5 to cast this. So in order to cast the Hostage Taker, I need 10 mana here.
The land shall conquer you.
You've gotten a Boreal Grazer, yep. Good use of our time. Arena's really struggling at the moment. I might need to restart it. What's the RAM usage at? It's only using 1.7 gigs of RAM. The attack's just like, yep, block 1, take 12, my turn. Alright, if we draw Siren's Ruse, they die next turn. Man, it is really chugging. Is it possible they're on full control? But I think they might be, actually. The way it keeps pausing. Yeah, I think they're on full control mode, just like... They've just, like, taken the salt dial and, like, turned it up to 12. Yeah, we do a non-rotating format every morning, Urk TV. So you're dead. Grab these two, start the loop, kill you with Vampire. Delicious. We played Amulet Titan, and we mostly got dumpstered. I don't think that deck's very good. Or at least it's been real bad the last few times we've played it. I don't know that we need to restart. We'll see. If it's still running really slowly in the start of the next game, I'll restart it in the middle of the game. Alright. This is only the third match with this deck, but we've comboed 3 times already. So we've been playing for over an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this, I guess. It's a little, it wants a shock land real bad, but like have all my colors, so it's kind of hard to pass up. Well, they scooped to the party bus because the party bus was actually beating them. So the second party bus that they conceded to there was gonna kill them that turn with the Vampire. So, the Beeve, what you're doing there is incorrect. Just because someone's doing well with a deck does not mean that that deck is good. In fact, as someone who top-baited many an SCG Open with the deck Kiki Chord, I could tell you that things like that are very much the exception to the rule. So, if your answer to this deck doesn't feel good as always, X did well with it, that kind of logic is never welcome here. It's super results-based and doesn't generate or engage in an intelligent conversation. If you want to hear my logic and reasoning of why I think that deck is aggressively mediocre, you can watch the video from early today. Robin Banks, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. If you're 369, can you coast? That might be okay coasting with 2 days left. There's a little over 2 days. It's hard to know, Fat Panda. I'm a little bit higher. I'm like 180, and I'm gonna try and coast. Oh no! Shalai means I can't Vampire Sovereign them. That's rude. I guess I should have gone Legion Zealot plus Mortify, huh? Tilt. Today I learned this targets. Yeah, a lot of these cards say each opponent these days. This talk of Kiki Court hurts me. Yep. Poor Kiki. Poor little freaky Kiki. I'm wearing pants, thank you. I have my stretchy jeans on. Which, by the way, if you're someone in life who doesn't own stretchy jeans, let me tell you, you're missing out. Stretchy jeans are wonderful. Let's kill this now before they get a chance to activate it. I don't recall the specific brand for these glasses. These are a sponsored item that they sent to me for potentially partnering with the stream. But I don't promote things that I'm testing out until I know that they work well. So I've been using a software filter for the last few weeks that I've liked, so I've turned that off and I'm trying the glasses instead, which hopefully they work well. It's hard to know if they're having an impact or not though until like I've been using them for a few hours. And by a few hours, I mean like 10 to 12. So I'll probably test drive these for like the next week or so. And if they end up feeling like they're doing what they're advertised to do, we'll partner with that company. It's a reasonable deck to run in a tournament because it is a reasonable deck to run in a tournament because if you run well with it, even if it's sure, that's like 1,000 different decks though, right? So like that comes back to again like what it means to like be talking about something that's truly competitive, right? So like if you don't care about your results or your focus isn't on winning as many games of Magic as possible, there's tons of different decks that you can play. Like there are a lot of decks that like fit the category of this deck's not really that competitive, but you can win well if you play well and run well with it. I do not have a prescription for glasses, so I have relatively close to 20/20 visions. What are my preferred dad jeans? Izo is the brand of stretchy jeans that I like. Izod. I think it's Izod. This card's kind of annoying. That card's not very good against me.
Here we go.
I guess it makes Siren's Ruse worse. Hacksaw! So 3 minutes. I didn't even realize you had a lower body. I do, in fact.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
Alright, well, can't do anything tricky with this, so might as well do it now. This Frilled Mix is going to put a real damper in our plans. I guess now they're obligated to Teferi. Or to Frilled Mystic the Teferi, because otherwise it turns it off. So hopefully we draw a big fat bus next turn. We get Teferi, it gets countered by Frilled Mystic, and then stick the bus.
I've got it.
Smart use on the opponent's part, using their Teferi to like cash in and draw a card and bounce their own thing instead of bouncing one of my things that have enter the battlefield effects here. Get to pump up the jam on their Wild Growth Walker here. Hey, I'm not just a talking head. I have a neck and shoulders too, and you see my hands. Do I buy your own jeans or does your boss do it? She bought me a variety and then I ended up settling on the Izods for myself. All right, so I think I'm gonna cash this in as just a card basically. So I could do this. They might not Frilled Mystic this, and if they do Frilled Mystic, then I'm pretty happy because I get to do both of these next turn. And then next turn now, I get to go Time Raveler. They're forced to Frilled Mystic the Time Raveler because he'll turn it off otherwise. And then we'll play Hostage Taker. We'll be able to deal with this large Wild Growth Walker via Hostage Taker. Yeah, at the very least, if you're someone who uses a computer for 5-6+ hours a day, 10, 12 sometimes, like I do, you should look into something like Flux or a red light filter. That's my big question that I want to answer with these glasses is, do they provide a meaningful difference from just using a software red light filter? And that's something that's going to take me a week or at least probably to test drive to figure out. That's, like, unfortunate, but I did reset their Wild Growth Walker back down to a 1/3, so it still seems like a win for me. I'm gonna hold on to my 2/3s for now. Rewarded for cashing in the 1/1s. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Say that attack's really bad. We just double block and eat it. So, one of the things I'd like to point out, and this is especially good for newer players who like to complain about flooding, is while it feels bad to have drawn as many lands as I've drawn here, something that I really like to point out for people is that you need to look at your lands when you talk about flooding or not in terms of percentages. So if you look at my deck, I've drawn, you know, 12 or 13 lands this game, but I've also drawn 26 cards, right? And my deck has 26 lands in it. So 12 lands and 26 cards is really about statistically average. It's very close to the mean number of lands I expect to see in that many cards. Sometimes when people talk about flooding, what they actually mean is they just played a long game of Magic and drew a lot of cards, so you're going to see a lot of lands and a lot of cards. One of the sweet things about Lumbering Battlement is even if they hit a removal spell here, they don't really want to kill it, right? Because, that being said, if they hit a Hydroid Crisis here, we're going to be real sad. Maybe I'm supposed to attack this in. If they wanted to block, they'd have to trade off a lot of their board. I don't know, the Lumbering Battlement in play is valuable, because if I, like, hit a removal spell for this or another Hostage Taker, I could, like, grab this and then loop it around. Oh, did I miss killing her last turn? I totally missed killing her with the Elite Guardmage while I was talking about. That's a pretty big mistake. 10 out of 10 should have attacked this into her. Now they got to draw another card. It's a pretty big deal. Now I'm gonna get Hydroid Crisis and cry. Yep, and again, there's a good chance I end up winning that game if I just, like, attack their thing there. This is a pretty big deal. Alright, I think I want... Despark's actually not that good, right? It, like, kills Oketra, but that's about it. I think I want the Thieves of Sanity. Is Bell-Haunt actually good here? I feel like Bell-Haunt's probably not. Their deck has a lot of mana in it, and, like, the 3/4 body's kinda whatever. Do I want Cast Down? I feel like I just want to, like, tempo them a little bit. And, like, try and just, like, stall a little bit and then eventually combo them. Like, with that in mind, is Thief worse than Cast Down? Maybe. Maybe Thief is worse than Cast Down. Yeah, I guess that's probably the case. Let's just do that. Let's just trim a couple of Bell-Haunts for a couple of Cast Downs. I neglected the fact that they didn't have a flying blocker and could have killed their thing. I'm gonna need you to cite a source on that, K-Dog. What you're doing there is it sounds like you're asking me to answer a question based on stuff you're pulling out of your posterior. Also, like, there's a 19 or 20 land basic mountain deck that's, like, one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the format, right? So, like, again, citation needed. Your feelings are not facts. Do not present them as such.
Let's see if you're worthy. For the fallen.
Ooh, that's a good point from Brecken too. If people were playing actually playing less lands, but they were playing fewer lands in decks like in decks that have like Ponder and Preordain, that's a really big difference.
Let's slow this down. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Even squirrels hit harder.
Opponent currently choked on mana, which is good for us. And again, taking into account things like cantrips are one of the many just pile of variables that makes building mana bases and stuff like that in Magic extra complicated. So they can Teferi bounce Hostage Taker and get back their Wild Growth Walker. And then they can plus on it to, like, make it give it reach. Yeah, I agree, Black Sheep. I mean, like, again, one of the litmus tests for, like, is your deck reasonable is, again, focuses on how many playable cards are in your deck. And usually, like, look at the Magic cards this deck is playing. A lot of our individual cards are constructed playable, right? Ooh, if they have a Frilled Mystic here, we're gonna be in trouble. Baby Crisis, okay. So I like the Baby Crisis here for my opponent because it forces me to not be able to kill these unless I want to hostage take this. I think I want to hostage taker the Crisis here, right? It means I don't get to pressure their Planeswalker. But it means I get to create. I guess I have enough value in my hand. Nah, I'm a liar. I have enough value in my hand. I'm gonna take this Wild Growth Walker and I'm gonna force them to chump block. I think I want to just keep their board small. I'm not lacking in like things to do in terms of value plays later. So they played. Wow. They played the Crisis and then didn't defend the Teferi. That's interesting. Or the Vivian.
I'll protect you.
So when I hostage taker this, they can tuck it back into their deck here. But that's fine. I just need to get that out of play so I can attack their Teferi. Herbivores, thank you for the 15-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, that tells me they don't have a Deputy of Detention, so that's nice. So even if they chump block here, their Teferi's going to 1, which makes it not particularly useful. Yeah, not too surprised to see that just go away there.
For round 2.
Trigger. This is my crew of 2 power creatures. Welcome to Pound Town. Enjoy your stay. You hate Hostage Taker. What did Hostage Taker ever do to you? That's true. That's true. Old Fibbles is wrapped up in the middle of this. Cast Flying Siege Rhino. Trigger. Yeah! Conceding to standard staple Vampire Sovereign. Love it. Love it. Good. Got our nice scrappy win in there finally. Hey, RMR, thank you for re-upping your Twitch Prime this month. Hey, appreciate the support. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Can't keep this one in good conscience, right? Just doesn't really do anything. which is unfortunate because it's got some good top end in our colors, but no place for that long is a no good. Would like one shock land, please. Slowish hand on the draw. They have turn 1 elf on the play. Gonna be a yikes. Brick on a land. Brick on a land. Brick on a land. Yes, victory. We're so good at Magic, chat. We're so good at Magic. Brick, 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 brick. There's probably a lot of kids in chat that do not know what a Siege Rhino is. It's very true. Opponent confirmed playing Magic, right? Rats.
Right on schedule.
Pick it up. Listen, if you're in chat and you don't know what Siege Rhino is, I don't care what your age is. By Magic standards, you're a child. Siege Rhino wasn't that long ago. Brevin, thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Brevern. I don't really care about Teferi. He did what we needed him to do.
It's only a matter of time.
Alright, so I think I just Bell-Haunt here. Because it blocks their 3-2 profitably. It is worth noting that maybe I should play the Elite Guardmage because I notably only have one blue source still. Which means if I hit another non-blue land next turn, I can't double spell. I guess I can Mortify, but like my chances to double spell go down by playing out this non-blue card. I'm a 30-year-old child for many reasons, but Siege Rhino is not one of them. Yep. Blue Shockland here is an Ace's draw. Wow, that's a hand. Alright, so that's why they really wanted our... That's why they wanted Teferi off the table. Yikes. Huh. I think I take this. Mortify is pretty sweet here. Having more things to play out at instant speed is ideal. Although I guess they get to play 2 3-mana Planeswalkers next turn. I can Mortify my way through those, though, to kill those.
Wasn't meant to be contained. You fight like a city brat.
Load them up, move them out, run. Everybody on the bus. Everybody on the bus.
You can still walk away.
Yeah, the fact that this card never gets trample is like criminal. How often do we play Party Bus and not have it be deck of the day? I think like maybe once. This deck usually generates fun games of Magic. So it is frequently given the deck of the day title. Would you like to bounce my Party Bus? Would you like to bounce my Party Bus? Oh, you don't want to bounce my bus. Weird. Strange. So the way they tapped here... Oh, I messed up. I could have mortified their elf pre-combat and then played the Elite Guardmage. But I can't do that anymore. Alright, I think I'm just gonna Fblthp here. Am I? No, I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna pass, and then end step, I'm gonna pick up Fblthp. And then I can go double spell the following turn. Yeah, because I think they kind of want to play... They kind of want to do this just to get more pressure in play.
Might be a bad idea.
Like, I still have a 3/4, right? So, like, why, I still have a 3/4? So it's like, So here's a really important question. Is my opponent's Teferi saying this might be a bad idea when it bounces the party bus? Does that qualify as outside assistance? Should that be a legal play? Is that something my opponent should be allowed to have happen? I feel like it's like questionable, right? Like, this is obviously a bad line. And like Teferi's like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. All right, so since they popped the bus, do I even want to pick Fblthp back up? I don't think so. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 mana. Let's just come back to my turn. Can already hear the Redditors. Am I getting Disdainful Stroked? Is that why we bounced this and then tapped off of... Okay, Disdainful Stroke. That makes sense. That explains why they didn't hold up Mystic after doing what they did there.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Wait, you think nature is kind?
Frill me, daddy. Frill me. This has reach. They plus Vivian to hold back my flyer. For people wondering why I didn't attack last turn. Alright, I have another 3/4 in play, and like on the board full of 3/2s, the 3/4 is like queen, right? Like Vampire Sovereign's like, listen to me, I'm in charge.
Strike now. Strike hard.
That's scary.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Why are we saying F? Why do we feel dead? Can anybody enlighten me on why we feel dead? Or I think we're doing okay.
Timing. I've got time.
I'll always
That's it,
survive.
now.
You'll see.
Morning, Frizzle. I mean, I'm at 24, right? I'm at 24, and I get to pick up a bust this turn. Yeah, obviously if we're psychic and know that Thought Erasure's on top of our deck, we would
Tear this place.
bounce the god so we could Thought Erasure it, but it is what it is.
The mysteries of life are endless.
So if they attack with everything, I'm like taking 10, 13, 14, 15. Thereabouts. If I draw a hostage taker or another battle, or if I draw a hostage taker or another battle kettle, we could be okay. I'm gonna have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna have 10 mana. I assume we're gonna see an attack with at least a 4/4 here. We might see all the 3/2s come marching over. We'll take 6 on this. One of the things to know, I see people asking about how Teferi's plus and minuses, Teferi static and pluses interact with each other. In Magic, a no always trumps a yes. So Teferi static saying no, you can't do this trumps these cards saying yes, you can do this. That was not the hostage shaker I wanted for Christmas, huh? Looks like we're gonna be dead here. so this can block something, and then I'm taking 10. So I'm like thinking, can I send these here and then bust them? And then I have a blocker and a blocker. So like this eats this inside of combat, and then like this eats this, and then I take 8, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I guess with a chump block, I'm potentially okay here too. Well, I can pick back up Fblthp too, right? Alright. Chip in a chair.
Suppose that's how it was
I've
meant.
seen worse.
I guess I should theoretically do this first. Because this could impact my decision-making process. So I have to shock doing this, but it's giving me a blocker for a 4/4. If they hit an explore creature, I'm dead, right? Yeah, I don't think we can beat an explore creature. So they have a way to pump up the jam on this Wild Growth Walkers. We're gonna eat it. Yeah, I didn't have a line to beat the explore creature, I don't think. This is 10. Oh, am I not dead? This is 10, or this is 10, 13, 14, 15. I'm not dead, right? I'm going to 1. I think I'm going to 1. A good series of draws lets us combo them here. I have to hit Hostage Taker into Hostage Taker, or Hostage Taker into Lumbering Battlement. Hey, I love Oreo. Thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around.
You'll thank me later.
I think this means I'm dead. Yeah, we had a series of outs there that were small that could have pulled us back in. I needed to draw a Hostage Taker or a Battlement for the turn, and then draw another one of those effects off the Elite Guardmage, and then we would have combo killed them. But we missed, and now there's no way we survive, right? Like, I can play a third blocker out, I can cast down something, and then we take plenty lethal. So, good games, opponent. I can cast down the bus. That doesn't get me out of it, though, right? Like, it lets me gain 6 more. It's not a line I considered, but then, like, I go block, I'm at 13, I take 10, yeah, just way more than 13. So, it's kind of cute, it's kind of cheeky, but does not allow me to win. That's a good set of Magic overall. Two really, the game 1 and game 3 that we lost to the Bantek there was just, like, incredibly close. We'd have been, like, one more spell in either of those games. I feel like really could have pushed it into our favor. I'm pretty happy with this list overall. This is card for card the list that's on my website, and I think I changed 1 card in the sideboard yesterday before I loaded this up. But if you're looking for a kind of quirky mid-range creature deck, this is definitely one that's fun to play, especially with the combo. Like, we played 3 matches there and we comboed 3 times in, like, you know, 8 or 9 games, which is fun. All right, we're gonna roll on along to our next deck today. We had someone cut in